this is Ruby Ringside. You're watching Cult TV.
Come on, I gotta finish this fucking story. Roman, lay down, damn it, Oh, well, we're on.
No.
Oh, sorry. Greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Pro Wrestling 60, where we talk about everything that happened in the world of professional wrestling this past week. I'm XLJ, the OG, joined by my partner in crime, my brother from another mother, hailing this week from Stone Mountain, Georgia, Mr. B-Roll.
How are we doing out there, world? I was beginning to think I was going to have to do the intro solo, and that was just going to throw everything off, but...
I got to finish the story, bro.
Did you finish the story, bro? Did you finish the story?
I put it on pause for now.
You working on it?
We're going to come back to it, trust me. So
okay, well, yeah, that is very apropos.
I know, right?
to the story itself.
Yes,
and
yes,
I mean, what would bring us together here other than a little bit of PW60? Nice shirt, by the way.
I know, nice shirt for you too. By the way, you can get these on ProWrestlingTees.com. Just look up Cole TV. But that being said, Mr. B-Roll, another crazy week in the world of professional wrestling. We got a lot to get into, so I'll let you deliver your line. By the way, it's great to have you back too. A little 2-week hiatus for you, so good to have you back.
Yes. Have I been on a 2-week hiatus? I guess I have.
Yeah. It's okay.
Life's been crazy, so I mean, there you go. Enough said, right? Didn't even realize I was gone, but it wouldn't be official until we make it official. We're on the road to WrestleMania, and the clock starts now.
That's right, and yes, indeed, we are on the road to WrestleMania. And our top story this week, it was the slap heard around the world, part 2. As Friday night on SmackDown, when Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins showed up to answer the challenge of The Rock and Roman Reigns. And we did get a definitive response from them because, ladies and gentlemen, it is official. We have a main event, night 1. It is all on the line at WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia, April 6th, as Seth freaking Rollins and Cody Rhodes will team up to take on the Bloodlines, Roman Reigns, and The Rock. So much on the line in this one. Because remember, the Bloodline wins. It is Bloodline rules on night 2 for Cody and Roman's match. However, if Cody and Seth win, it is going to be the Bloodline barred from ringside on night 2 of WrestleMania. B-Roll, what do you think of this epic tag team match that has officially been signed for WrestleMania 40 night 1?
I think the ultimate thing that excites me is that we're getting a story from night 1 that is going to directly tie in to the story for night 2, which is awesome. And then I do love, this is 40 years of WrestleMania, right? What happened at the very first WrestleMania? What was the main event?
Tag team match.
A tag team match.
Kind of apropos, right?
So,
yeah,
I am excited, and
there's so many ways this can go too. I mean, you could see it easily being Cody and Seth winning to ban but I could see it going the other way too. And then I think it tells a little bit of a more compelling story if it goes that way. Because say Cody takes the pin in this tag match, and like he's just like questioning himself over a 24-hour period. Okay, can I do this? Can I do this? Because they said it on Friday Night SmackDown. This is it. This is Cody's last shot. He either finishes the story or this is it. The story does not get finished. So, folks, It doesn't get much bigger than this, and what people are dubbing the biggest WrestleMania of all time, and I have to agree,
Of all time.
of all time. And don't forget, Cole TV is going to be there with some coverage, as I'll be there in Philadelphia. It's going to be a hell of a time. Cannot wait. Why can't it be April already? Damn it!
We are getting closer. We got a few more weeks to get to, but
Knocking on that door.
we are getting closer.
But we pretty much know our main match is going into WrestleMania this year, and I expect this week between Raw and SmackDown, we're going to find out a couple more matches to be added to already the epic lineup that is WrestleMania 40.
It's just so crazy to think that, like, a long time ago, I thought that, you know, the Jay and Jimmy would be like main event night one, and here we are.
Definitely going to happen, but I don't think it main event. Yeah.
Even we're looking at it into the story.
Yeah. So, well, nonetheless, this road to WrestleMania, it's getting closer and closer to the end. But man, oh man, these next couple weeks are going to be extremely interesting, to say the least. Now, Mr. B-Roll, exciting times. As we talked about this last week, AEW is now in a new era, and boy, oh boy, they kicked it off right with Dynamite this past Wednesday night. First and foremost, thoughts on the new look of Dynamite?
Yes. Okay, so pulling the curtain back a little bit. So me and the good old XLJ, we are working together again. I may or may not have walked back to him in the break room and showed him the picture of this, and I was like, "Do you see this? Do you see how good this looks?"
Yeah, you did.
Like I feel like this is like how you felt about the Collision stage, which I love the Collision stage. I don't know. There's just something about this that I was just like, it looks sexy. It looks
honestly,
sexy. The tunnels are back.
Oh yes, I wanted to say that the tunnels are back. Tunnels look cool as hell. They look better. And there's a lot of people complaining about, like, oh, this is like kind of the way the lettering is, or the
No,
I don't think so. I think this whole aesthetic right here, this is gorgeous.
it's sexy.
It is sexy AF. I'm here for it. But dude, Dynamite was a loaded show. So much coming out of it, but without a shadow of doubt, the big story. And I am so, like, I didn't see this coming, but damn it, I absolutely adore it. This, folks, is the new Elite. That's right. As the Young Bucks come out and announce that Hangman Page would be suspended indefinitely for his actions at Revolution, and they literally fired Kenny Omega from the Elite. But boy, oh boy, what a surprise we got, as yes, the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada, made his debut, and not only making his debut, but going full-blown heel to kick off his run in AEW. And he's a part of the Elite, this new Elite. B-roll. I mean, how exciting is this? Because there's so many awesome stories they're going to be able to tell this. And man, oh man, does this freaking benefit the Young Bucks so much, and just gives them. We were talking about the Young Bucks a couple months ago. It was just like, it's a joke. This new coat of paint, this new look for the Bucks, chef's kiss.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I just could not agree even more. It's just it is exciting times. I think we, as wrestling fans, we were so focused on like Mania and all this and all that, but man, they really did deliver on this Dynamite.
Yes,
And
they
they-
did. And
they
coming
kinda
off the
needed-
Revolution, one of their best
kinda
pay-per-views.
needed to. Yeah,
Yeah.
they kind of needed to.
Yeah, they really did. So, and I even thought Collision was a loaded show too. And we'll talk about that here in a couple minutes. But damn, man, this was the shot in the arm they needed. They've got so much momentum. They got to keep it going to compete with WWE because they're red hot right now. But the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada, is all Elite, baby. Now, a little bit of controversy kind of coming out from this as far as his contract, because Okada's making a fuck ton of money. I'm an Okada mark, so I'm just like, I'm fine with whatever. But I think if I read correctly, it like transcribed to he was making like, what was it, 13 million over 3 years or something like that, which breaks down to like a fuck ton of money.
Yeah.
He's the Rainmaker for a reason. But some people like the toxic IWC, the Melvins that well, I don't think he moved the needle quite like that. Just fucking enjoy it. Come on, man. Or let us enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, that's fine. Just let us enjoy this.
There's even like one freaking comment I said is like, chances are, the people that want to watch Okada probably already know about him.
In the arena, yeah, just enjoy wrestling, folks.
Shut the fuck up.
Thank you. I couldn't say it better myself, B-roll. But nonetheless, Okada is all elite. And man, oh man, let's talk about the main event of Dynamite. Two former stablemates in the United Empire going at it as Will Ospreay would make his official AEW roster Dynamite debut, going up against the Ring of Honor World Television Champion Kyle Fletcher. There's some people even saying that this match was better than the Takeshita match. I don't know if I agree.
I wouldn't go that far.
But damn, this was a good match, though. A solid matchup. And once again, just shows you how freaking good Will Ospreay is. But as amazing as
this, I'll give it this. This match probably had better storytelling than the Takeshita match.
Yeah, but then it's got a background there, too, with their past relationship. Yeah. But let's talk about the real story. This right here, as Bryan Danielson come out at the end of the night to confront Will Ospreay, and we're going to talk about that in a couple minutes where this is leading to. But damn, what a way to close the show, this already incredible show. But once again, we got to go back. That Kyle Fletcher Will Ospreay match was incredible. Once again, it's our match a week. Is a Will Ospreay match here on PW60. We need to do like a count of how many matches of the week like Ospreay's had on this show. It's got to be an absurd amount. But it's like hard not to pick against him, for God's sakes, because he's Will freaking Ospreay. It's like, do you think Meltzer has like an unlimited supply of like petroleum jelly? I'm sure he's got a couple of those that he's probably.
You don't ever have to make me like talk about Will Ospreay. So
yes, indeed, my friend. Well, let's.
Sorry.
It's okay, buddy. It's okay. But also let's talk about Rampage from this past Friday night. I think it was on this show. I can't remember if it was on this show or if it was behind the scenes we were talking about. But Hambone had a wonderful idea for Rampage. And let me be wrong, Rampage was fun and all, but his idea is perfect. Just make it an all-woman show. Showcase your women's roster. You give them an hour. Storylines can be told. Like, I feel like that's the way to go, because I just feel like, I mean, there's some cool stuff on Rampage, I guess, but are you missing anything if you miss it? Not really. That's my honest critique of it. I don't know. It's still though.
I mean, no, I'm right there. I'm right there with you. There needs to be something that it delivers.
It just feels like it's almost kind of filler at this point. It's just kind of like it's on Friday nights. It's there. So I don't know. I said my piece. It was a fun show. Did you really miss anything off of it? No. But I don't want to take any momentum away from AEW though, because like I said, they have a week.
Dante was on it.
Your boy was on there.
That was good.
But Collision was a loaded show as well, man. They hit it out of the park here, and that's why I'm saying if you did that with Rampage and made it the all-women's show, man, it cures so many problems that they have. I feel like with Rampage, number one, it gives your woman time to shine. And number two, like I would actively tune in every Friday to watch it. Honestly,
I would even, if they chose to like give that time to ROH, to where ROH was
or
on
that something
TV.
different would need to happen. But nonetheless, we still got a lot more to talk about here. Thank you for coming to our TED Talk about Rampage. Let's talk Collision here. Hell of an opener with Bryan Danielson against Shane Taylor. But let's talk about that moment. Will Ospreay coming out, and it is pretty much set for AEW Dynasty, the dream matchup. The wrestling fans' wet dream is going to come true. Bryan Danielson goes one-on-one with Will Ospreay for the first time ever. We also got to see the debut of the Elite, which I loved how they did that. Just Okada just murdered 3 guys essentially. But how about the bastard Pac showing up and getting up in Okada's face?
Yeah, I'm gonna say this like right now. Like that face off. Like I didn't know I needed that.
Right. Yeah, I never thought about it as a matchup, and it's like, oh, yeah, I think I do want to see that.
Yeah. Like I want to see that like more than I want to see like the whatever like they're doing at which will I
We're
won't
gonna talk
spoil
about
it
that
because
here in a minute.
we'll get there. We got we got big business to talk about. See, you
Yes,
see
we
what I
do.
did there?
I do see what you did, and I liked it. Also, what the hell is Spike? What do you think was in the case? Because they didn't reveal it. Adam Copeland had in his case.
But
I
what
think
is with more importantly, what's with the serious guyliner? Like seriously.
Well, did you see like how he was dressed up as a luchador? That's why.
Yeah, well, but still.
Yeah.
But still.
But anyways,
It's a lot of guyliner.
I want to know what's in the case. I think it's something going back to their childhood or something, but it's going to be interesting because in 2 weeks on Dynamite, when they're in Canada, it's going to be Copeland versus Christian 3 in an I Quit match for that TNT Championship. Exciting times. And the main event.
Dudley is going to be the special guest referee.
It was Spike Dudley in there all along. I knew it. And also the main event here, we got that Atlanta street fight with Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, Mark Briscoe going up against the House of Black.
Tables were on fire, so I'm always
tables
happy.
were exactly so. Like I say, man, it was still like between the 2 main shows. God, AEW knocked it out of the park this week. So
what are you talking about? Rampage is your main show.
Mm-hmm. Well, you said it yourself, Mr. B-Roll. Big business is about to happen this upcoming Wednesday night, live from the TD Garden, in Boston, Massachusetts. Some matches already announced. We are going to get that trios match with the Elite, the new Elite of Okada and the Bucks, going up against Eddie Kingston, Penta El Zero Miedo, and the bastard himself, Pac. We also know Willow Nightingale will be in action. I believe against Sky Blue, right?
Be in action?
Yes. I know Willow's wrestling. I think it's against Sky Blue, I think. Darby Allin's going to be in action going up against Jay White. That should be a tremendous matchup. And we do know that the AEW Championship will be on the line as Samoa Joe defends against the #1 contender, Wardlow. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Willow against Riho. That's who it is. See, that's how bad the women's division is being booked right now. But you know what? That segues into this. I think a certain boss is showing up that we all are aware of that is going to change things around, and finally, the women get the respect they so rightfully deserve in AEW. It's gonna be big business on Wednesday night. Are you excited?
Hopefully, I mean, I was just having like a total like epiphany almost. Like I was like, oh wait,
wrestling brand.
I didn't realize Willow was booked. If you think about it, so and so was the last person so and so's match, where they got hurt and
crazy wrestling brains going on haywire on you, buddy. So, but big business nonetheless is coming this Wednesday night on AEW Dynamite. And as we said before, it is official. AEW Dynasty. You will see Will Ospreay against Bryan Danielson in this dream matchup coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri, which as soon as they announced that, B-Roll sent me a message, kind of pulling back the curtain here.
No. Let's pull back the curtain. Literally sent you a GPS snapshot saying that
it's only 4 hours away.
It's only 4 hours. So yes, people.
We may be at
Cold
Dynasty.
TV.
We don't know.
Hopefully going to be there in some way, shape, or form. How about that?
That's right. There you go. Fair is fair. So, but like I say, huge week for AEW this past week. But let's go back to Friday night. Let's talk about Friday Night SmackDown. Solid show once again. Great seeing Tiffany Stratton being featured because it is Tiffy time, folks. Hell of a matchup she had against Misha. I thought it was a very interesting sit-down interview with Bayley. as they are kind of like setting up more and more, making more of a compelling story, which I think is one of the more compelling stories going into WrestleMania is this Bayley Io Sky matchup. And it's just a shame it's not people. Well, I don't think it's being promoted nearly as well as it should be, but that's another story for another time. We did get Karrion Kross against Bobby Lashley, and I gotta say this, I really don't care. It's just a rivalry to me that needs to go away. It does nothing for either of those sides. AJ Styles cut a scathing promo against one LA Knight. Obviously, there's a collision course coming between those two at WrestleMania, likely. But let's talk about that opener matchup as Randy Orton teamed up with Kevin Owens to go up against Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Fun little opener, and I like too how he's drinking the Prime here. So, because Logan Paul obviously opened the night, and we're going to talk about that here momentarily. But B-roll, it's come that time in the show. Let's go to our Tribal Queen Bree for our Tribal Queen tidbit of the week.
Well, hello everyone. It's been a minute. This is your Tribal Queen Bree with your Tribal Queen tidbit of the week. And we've had a couple highs and lows these past couple weeks since I've done one of my tidbits. So, first, a very big high. We had Revolution last week, and the War Daddy Wardlow won, of course, his 8-man scramble match, aka Big Mini Men's Sled Meet. And eventually he's going to face Samoa Joe for that belt. And yes, Wardlow needs that gold. Please. Downside, Paul, Triple H, made Austin Theory take a super bad RKO from Randy Orton. And Austin Theory sold the fuck out of that. But, I mean, I don't know if it was actually Triple H that told him to do that, but, you know, it still made me a little upset to see my guy get RKO'd. Anyways, that was your Tribal Queen Bree with your Tribal Queen tidbit of the week.
Oh, she does love her Austin Theory, doesn't she?
Well, how about a cowboy?
I need a little cowboy on a brown. I don't know how the song goes. Anyways, I want to ask you this because the Rock. It seems like this is gonna be a new trend where we're gonna be getting Rock cutting promos on Instagram that go really long. But I'm okay with it.
Every Friday.
Every Friday. In Dallas, Texas, of course, for SmackDown. What did you think of the Rock and a cowboy hat?
I'm just.
Were you sexually confused?
It's
okay if you were, bro.
A little bit.
It's okay,
like,
bro.
It's like I go to the Rock's Instagram, right? And I get this, and then I get him promoting his like new like skin lotion line. I'm like,
I know, right? I'm like,
how
what the fuck is this?
Like, how am I supposed to feel?
They're giving me the vapors. I mean, between the hat, the cowboy hat, and the belt buckle, man. I mean, it's pretty solid. But
they come for the wrestling and they stay for the lotion.
All right, yeah. Well, that being said, our good close friend, the Best Scout Machine, actually has a little something to say about the Rock's appearance here. So check this out.
The Rock is out here cutting promos, wearing a cowboy hat, when you know that man has never rode a horse, castrated a steer, or made sweet, sweet, passionate love to a cousin. Now, have I done any of that? Technically, I've done all that in different orders. Like, you know, we've all had passionate sex with a steer, and we've all castrated a cousin. Have any of you ever eaten like a generic store brand push-up ice cream like the Flintstone ones? They don't have any cartoons on the outside of them, so it looks like you're eating a lint roller. I heavily doubt The Rock has ever masturbated to a Shania Twain video like a real cowboy. I should have been a cowboy. I should have learned to rub around. Drinking Four Locos and touching my ass in Chinatown. Don't know the lyrics to the song. I was eating Cheetos one time and I scratched my armpit and I forgot how much deodorant I had. So when I was done eating the Cheetos, I went to lick my fingers and didn't realize it was a combination of Cheeto dust and deodorant. Wouldn't recommend it. Why hasn't like a hair bleach company tried using Cody Rhodes as a sponsorship? The guy's not really blonde. Did we forget he used to have beautiful dark hair back in the day? But no, he went like Hitler blonde for some reason. Wait a second. Hitler didn't have blonde hair. Hitler didn't have blonde hair! Should probably stop talking about Hitler. Should really stop talking about him. Hey, about Vince McMahon. Oh, same conversation. Just evil. You'd be surprised. I got multiple piercings. So, anyone here watch Friday Night Movie Night? We watched Ready to Rumble. Hello. Just saying. God, this kind of sideways. It kind of looks more Australian than hillbilly, redneck. Nope. I'm not come to think of it, guys, I'm not worthy of eating JR's barbecue. I look Australian, not Southern. I doubt The Rock has put on a vest covered in enamel pins, which, by the way, if you're shirtless, those enamel pins are made of steel. Steel is very cold. Cold metal is touching my body, and I don't know what to do about it.
Oh, best scout. I hope he's okay. And he makes a good point. Yes, you can catch a replay of Friday Night Movie Night where we watched Ready to Rumble. Fun episode.
Yeah.
It's available now. Yeah.
Friday Night Movie Night went great.
Yeah, but it would be okay if we're not even going to mention his name on the air. You just got
That's right, because you know what will happen.
Yeah, we're not even talking about it. Anyways, let's talk about Monday Night Raw from this past week. I loved the Dominic Mysterio Gunther matchup. That was way better than it should have been. I mean, Dom was showing some stuff, but obviously, it's against Gunther. I mean, come on, man. Also, Judgment Day against Imperium was a great matchup too, as well. Andrade made his Raw return debut, going up against Apollo. Becky Lynch and Nia Jax went at it, but Liv Morgan had a little something to say about that. But the main event, you got Jey Uso going up against Drew McIntyre. What?
Yeet.
Oh, yeet. I thought you said who? I was like, wait a minute, what? Bad Abbott Costello joke. Anyways, Monday Night Raw, solid show. And once again, by the way, Jimmy Uso showing up. It is clear as day that Jimmy and Jay are on a path to meet at WrestleMania. I'd expect that match to actually probably be announced this week. Also, we found out too, tonight on Raw, we're getting a gauntlet match to determine the number one contender for Gunther's IC title. I gotta say, man, I'm really torn between Sammy and Chad Gable. I'm really hoping Chad Gable wins, but I got a feeling it's gonna be Sami Zayn. But we'll find out here pretty soon on Monday Night Raw. But Raw this past week was a solid show, man. Once again, that road to WrestleMania, baby, it has been awesome. And we're also on the road. We're on the road to NXT TakeOver in Philly. Stand and Deliver. I was like, wait a minute, what are we calling these now? Sorry. But we now know who the number one contender is going to be for the NXT Championship. But this was an exciting show, the NXT Roadblock show, as they're dubbed it. Damn it, I was really hoping Chase U was going to win those tag titles from Braun Baker and Baron Corbin, but I understand. I get it. The Wolf Dogs just won them, so it is what it is, right? Sean Spears also made his NXT in-ring return going over Uriah Connors, which, by the way, that is Brogan Finlay, for those of you who don't know.
Yeah, I should have stuck with Brogan Finlay.
Yeah, I kind of felt like that too. But anyways, it's neither here nor there. The Kabuki Warriors defeated Laya Valkyrie and Tatum Paxley. And like I said, in the main event, we have a new number one contender. I mean, I'm not surprised by this. I'm still a little surprised he's in the hunt. But Tony D'Angelo defeated Carmelo Hayes. And Tony D'Angelo is your new number one contender for the NXT Championship. And he is our wrestler of the week here on PW60. Getting a huge shot at Stand and Deliver.
Okay, true story, though. How do you think I would look with like a Sean Spears style haircut?
I don't know, man. I think only Sean Spears can really rock that look, my friend. I'm just saying.
Okay.
But also, too, kind of going back a little bit, that about that segment where William Regal came out and was talking to the No Quarter Catch crew, and Regal talking to his son saying, "I'll defend this better than you." I was like, ooh baby, I like it a lot.
You slap him in the mouth right now, William.
And it does look like Trick Williams is back. I mean, I think it's plain as day. Carmelo versus Trick at Stand and Deliver, which that's going to be, in my opinion, that's the main event of that show. That's the match I want to see the most. But once again, though, congratulations to Tony D'Angelo. He's earned an NXT Championship matchup against Ilya Dragunov at Stand and Deliver. But like I say, not super surprised that he won that. And I love how you were just drinking a Prime. Wasn't that Prime you were drinking?
No, it was Ghost Hydration. Strawberry kiwi flavor.
Oh, Slogan Paul's going to be disappointed in you. So it was announced on SmackDown. Of course, Logan Paul opened up the show, and it was announced that Prime would be pretty much in the biggest sponsorship with the WWE yet today. That Prime will now be featured in the center of the ring of all going forward WWE pay-per-views, not premium live events, damn it. I'm not shocked, I guess. I mean, I don't know how I feel about it. I'm a little indifferent, if I'm being honest. Not so much because it's Prime or anything, but it's just, I don't know. It's going to be weird seeing logos inside the ring. But, I mean, shit, look at UFC. I mean, that's all it's littered with is, like, logos from companies and stuff. So this is the era we're going into. It is what it is. So, I don't know. It's just going to be weird to me, man, because we're going to look back, 15, 10, whatever, however many years back at this WrestleMania, and there's going to be some incredible WrestleMania moments. And right there in the center, you're going to see this fucking bottle of Prime. But Cherry Freeze is a pretty damn good option, I will say.
Yeah,
if this is actually what they're going with, I'm all right with that.
Yeah,
but,
and I like Prime. I like Prime as well, but
I love
not
Prime.
as much
the
as I like
hydration. But I don't like the energy drink.
Ghost hydration drink.
Yes, Ghost.
Available at all major retailers.
Yeah, give us a sponsorship. Yay. Well, Mr. B-Roll, it's that time of the show. Let's go to our good friend Spicy Guac for a spicy take.
Spicy Guac with a spicy take. Now that Anthem has control of TNA Wrestling and Scott D'Amore is out of there, Vince Russo might have
He couldn't even finish it, brother. Couldn't even finish.
He couldn't even.
God, don't talk that into assist. It's Spicy.
Okay,
don't
real quick on the Scott D'Amore thing. A little bird told me, or read a little something that apparently, we're
going to talk about that here in a minute.
Oh, okay. I'll shut up then.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that here in a minute. But before we get to that story, let's talk about, we've got some more inductees going into the Hall of Fame this year, and I got to say, B-Roll, it is a loaded class already. Super hyped and stoked about this as it was announced that the U.S. Express, Barry Windham and Mike Rotunda, will be going into the 2024 WWE Hall of Fame. Of course, I think a lot of people, myself included, thinks this is leading to a Bray Wyatt induction as well. And I mean, I hope that's what happens, because that is a really cool statistic that a father, a uncle, and a son all get inducted into the Hall of Fame at the same time. That's pretty dope, man. But regardless, I mean, these guys both deserve it, not only as a tag team, and Barry's already in there with the Four Horsemen, keep in mind, but they both deserve to go in as individual talents as well. I mean, God, Barry Windham, one of the smoothest wrestlers of all time, like in-ring, man, a phenomenal wrestler. And Mike Rotunda, the same too, one of the most iconic characters of all time, won IRS. So well deserving. We here at PW60 want to wish the U.S. Express congratulations on their Hall of Fame induction. Was as exciting as that is, this one is just as exciting too. Holy crap, it's finally happening. Yes. Bull Nakano is going into the WWE Hall of Fame. I can't stress enough like how overwhelmingly and this is overdue for her. I mean, you talk about one of the pioneers in Joshi wrestling, one of the all-time greats. And I mean, even you, I mean, I know you're still pro wrestling newbie, but even you know of the greatness of Bull Nakata over the years.
Even I know.
Yeah.
And honestly, I mean, I'll say, like, you know, I found out that it would like when she got affiliated with that promotion here, I kind of found out, like, you know, like who she was and like what a big deal she was, and then yeah.
Yeah,
So this is even bigger. Now there is one more person I feel like should be going in though.
yes, Tommy Dreamer.
Please.
I hope he does go in. Because there's some other rumors about some other talent that could go in, but we're not going to address those because they are, in fact, what they say they are, rumors. So, but like I say, so far the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2024 is already shaping up to be one hell of a class, and I can't wait to see who else gets to go in this year. But man, so far they're killing it as far as like greatness. Speaking of greatness, WWE 2K24 was released this past week. That's right. B-Roll's got his copy. I got my copy. I'm no gamer or anything like that, but I got to say, like, I played it a little bit last night. And
you were playing it literally as we were coming on the air.
Yeah. Trying to finish the damn story. I think it's pretty, like, I played the 2K23 last year, too, and I like 2K23, but, I mean, it already seems like it's a little bit smoother, like the controls. I love the 40 Years of WrestleMania, like, gameplay that they have. I think that's dope as hell.
Yeah.
Even the graphics, like, you can tell, like, just, like, they are solid, like, the most solid they've ever been, man. It is pretty crisp. And I will say this too. I feel like the arenas are pretty accurate, which I think they've done a decent job before. But like, put it to you this way, this year, the WrestleMania arena feels like an actual WrestleMania arena. But I love it so far. What do you think?
I'm loving it. My favorite part so far is definitely the showcase mode. I love kind of like just being able to sink my teeth into it. Like I was telling you before we came on the air, like I'm like, you know, I don't want to just complete it. I want to get every single objective, or I'll redo it. And that's just me. I enjoy sinking my teeth into that.
If I understand you correctly, you want to finish the story.
Well played. Well played.
I see what I did there. Well, in some unfortunate news this week, let's talk about one of the cover athletes from 2K24, one Bianca Belair, coming under fire from just some idiotic wrestling fans, some of you stupid trolls online who live in Mother's Basement, making some offhanded racist comments about one Bianca Belair. Of course, a ton of professional wrestlers coming to her aid immediately, as rightfully chose. She is the EST of WWE, man. Like, I don't understand. How can anybody hate Bianca Belair, man?
Yeah, no,
like,
I mean, seriously, no kidding. I'm thinking, I said it once in the show already. I'm going to say it again. Just shut the fuck up.
For real.
Like
wrestling fans are so fickle. I mean, it's a great community. It's awesome. Don't get me wrong, but man, it's like those bad apples that just make it so like yuck.
Yeah, you know, Staples has an easy button.
Yeah,
I feel like I want to just shut the fuck up button.
Yeah, for wrestling fans at times, and this is definitely up there. It's almost like we need lessons in proper etiquette and how to handle things. Thank God for our good close friend Sienna Chanel, who's got another tidbit this week for us professional wrestling fans. So check this out.
You know, when we have our favorite wrestlers in mind, we always express it into why we have our favorite wrestler in mind based on their in-ring ability, promos, backstage interview, and whether it's outside of the ring or inside of the ring as well. And then you have the ones that actually say why they don't like this particular wrestler or why they're not their favorites, you know. And then, like, it comes to this whole discord into the discussion of this wrestler. Is it because the way that they're not in the ring, or is it because they're questioning their wrestling fans of their appearance or whichever the case would be. And there's nothing wrong with that, as long as, like, you know, you have to say your reasoning in a very responsive, like, manner to it too. And especially how you have to hone it within yourself too. So don't be ashamed of, like, expressing about this particular wrestling mind, like why it's your favorite or not their favorite. But please, just be respectful and be kind to one another. I mean, at the end of the day, wrestling is not that serious, all right? Just saying.
Just enjoy wrestling, folks. Just enjoy wrestling, because that's what we do here on PW60. And this guy. Oh, Sammy. Here we go again. So this week it come out that Sammy Guevara has been suspended, I believe, indefinitely. Is that right?
Something like that.
For his actions against Jeff Hardy on Rampage from over a week ago. Okay, here's the thing. If anybody should realistically be at fault and suspended, it is the doctor and the official for not, like, really getting in there. Like, yes, Sammy should have known to stop this, but I mean, I don't know. B-Roll, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, it's like I said to you earlier this week. We know what happened in the ring. We know what happened there. What we don't know is how and what was said and how it was handled backstage.
True.
He could have, who knows? He could have cocked some type of attitude about it. Like,
there may be some stuff we don't know.
Who knows? Here's borderline. I guess here's what I'm trying to say. I think there's more to the story than just what happened in the ring.
Well, that's fair enough. Well, that's not the only controversial story coming out of AEW this past week. It was announced that Kevin Kelly has been released from All Elite Wrestling. I at first was like, huh? I was like, I didn't understand what the hell was going on. Well, a little bit behind this. So apparently Kevin Kelly was making some comments on X, or formerly known as Twitter. I believe, what was it? It was in regards to, like, a movie or something that that one movie that come out that people are talking about that deals with, like, adult or child trafficking, isn't it?
Oh, I have no idea. I thought he was making fun of Ian Riccaboni.
Well, that was part of it. I guess he said some offhanded things to Ian Riccaboni that, like, pretty much caught that, like, he was holding him back, yada yada. Well, anyways, a combination of those things has pretty much led to one Kevin Kelly being released by AEW. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty bummed about this because I really like Kevin Kelly. I don't know the full extent of the comments. If I'm being honest, I need to kind of take a closer look at that. But I mean, on paper, I think he was just trying to get across, like, the people to check out the movie is what I took away from it. But once again, you can decipher that and take that for any way you want it to. I do hope this kind of means he ends up back in New Japan, because I think that would be a good fit for him if he's back there again. But I hope he's not done. I don't know. I like listening to Kevin Kelly personally. I like Kevin Kelly and Nigel. I thought they had good chemistry, but I think there were some other things too going on where, like, because I don't believe they were too, like, keen on, like, Kevin Kelly and Nigel, because they brought in Tony Schiavone to kind of help announce. Like, I don't know. I think there were some other factors, but that was essentially the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, on paper it looked like it should have worked, but for whatever reason it didn't. And hopefully both parties can move on with their lives and on bigger and better things.
That is true, my friend. Well, speaking of New Japan Pro Wrestling, it's time we go to our resident New Japan Pro Wrestling expert, the CDC, for a New Japan report. Check this out.
Greetings from Earth. It is I, the CDC 83, coming at you with your roundup review of New Japan Pro Wrestling this week. Starting us off this week, we got a new champ. Stephanie Vacour defeated Julia. The New Japan Cup got kicked off with the anniversary show. For the most part, going through this week, you can pretty well just forget all the undercard matches. They just really weren't of much interest, to be honest. Obviously, the main event is all the New Japan Cup bracket matches. As of now, here are your current standings. If you are short on time and just want to catch certain matches, these are my current suggestions on the best matches from New Japan Cup this week. And if you only get to watch one match, surprisingly, this one is my match to watch. This was actually, I think, the best match of the entire week with New Japan. Also in New Japan news, we also have a new member of the hottest faction in wrestling entertainment. That's right, the scapegoat Jack Perry is House of Torture. And that'll wrap up this week's New Japan Pro Wrestling Report. I have been the CDC 83 from Earth. Goodbye.
Oh, I have a feeling XLJ is going to need a minute there.
Yeah, I am. Like, I'm sorry, I love you, CDC, but God, I hate the House of Torture. I will say this. Jack Perry looked great. I loved everything he's doing coming out with, like, the GOAT thing, and I can't believe I'm fucking saying this. I think putting him in the House of Torture is pretty smart, actually.
What? What was that?
I'm not going to repeat myself. So.
You want evil to be president?
No, we're not talking that into existence, damn it. So, we know what we can talk about in existence. Let's talk about TNA Sacrifice took place this past Friday night from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. A loaded show. We got a couple of new sets of champs. I got to say, the big one I was surprised on. I guess I shouldn't be too surprised because they're kind of running things now. The System, Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers defeated ABC, Chris Bay, and Ace Austin to win the TNA World Tag Team Championship. And now they've got all the gold because Moose would retain his TNA Championship against one.
You want to know who my House of Torture is? It's the System.
The System? You don't like him, do you?
I can't stand them.
I see. I like Moose.
Yeah.
That's about as far as it goes. Also, I was a little. I mean, I guess because I'm biased because I'm such huge fans, but MK Ultra lost the Knockouts tag titles as the team of Spitfire, Dana Luna and Jody Threat ended up defeating them, and they just won the belts back. But I don't know. It is what it is. But I'm always a huge mark for Masha Slamovich and Killer Kelly. So
okay. Let's be real. Has TNA kind of been missing a little bit for you recently? Or not as hot as it was? Do you feel like?
Kinda.
Okay.
But I think that's just because like so much is going on with this road to WrestleMania in the WWE, and then on top of that, we've got like AEW's now cooking with gas. So there's a couple deciding factors there, I suppose. But
yeah.
Also, Jordan Grace retained her Knockouts Championship against Tasha Steelz and Sia Brookside. Hammerstone got his revenge against Josh Alexander as he defeated him, and now that series is 1-1. And Nick Nemeth defeated Steve Macklin. Who gives a shit? No disrespect to Nick Nemeth, but fuck Steve Macklin. But overall, Sacrifice was a solid show, man. So I enjoyed it, and I think TNA's still got a lot of good things going for them. So I think we're still kind of in shock over the Scott D'Amore firing, but I still think they're doing a lot of good things. So.
Yeah,
and we're just being too particular. We're spoiled
being
rotten
fickle.
wrestling.
Are we being fickle? Am I being fickle here?
Maybe.
I may be. Maybe
Well,
check my fickle meter.
GCW had an amazing weekend as well as their March Madness weekend took place in Atlantic City as we got Ashes to Ashes and so much fun, as well as the JCW show on Sunday afternoon. I thought both shows were very great, but I thought Ashes to Ashes was my favorite. Finally getting to see Effie and Mance Warner their rivalry continue on, and Effie picking up the win against old Manser in the strap match. But we're not done, it doesn't look like, as
Get
Mance
answer.
would come out and interfere. It's so much fun going after Effie as he was involved in that trios matchup against MDK. But now you got Nick Gage wants to kill you, Manser, so you better watch the fuck out, buddy. Another one of my big takeaways from these shows this weekend is Danhausen was back in a GCW ring. Not only Danhausen back, this is like the Danhausen of old. Because that's the thing, a lot of people forget, like, Danhausen's a hell of a wrestler, man. As great of an entertainer he is, he's a hell of a wrestler.
Yeah.
And if for you deathmatch enthusiasts, my God, you got plenty this past weekend. Solid showing from GCW as always. And it's just a lot of good things going on in the independent scene. Speaking of which, I think you know where I'm going with this. Let's go to our good friend Michael for an independent report.
What up, y'all? It's Ron Michael with an independent wrestling event report. First off, we have Prestige Wrestling presents Alive 2, March 24th at the Hawthorne Theater in Portland, Oregon. Not much information on that, except for get your tickets at prestigewrestling.net. For tickets and somewhat of the information they have. Secondly, we have Destiny Wrestling in Canada presents The Clash, Sunday, April 14th at the Alliance Banquet Hall in Toronto. Doors open at 6:20. Doors at 6:20. Bell time at 7 p.m. You can get your tickets at revelry.ca event slash The Clash. Again, Destiny Wrestling then presents Sunday, May 19th, Zero Fear at Children's Arena. That is 155 Arena Street, Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. Door at 6, showtime at 7 p.m. Again, tickets at revelry.ca /event /Zero Fear. You all have a good day.
All right, our good friend Michael there with the Independent Report. And as always, don't forget to go out and support your local independent wrestling. Oh boy, can you believe it? The convict is now tied down. Old Dirty Dominic Mysterio was married to his high school sweetheart this past week. Looked like a pretty awesome wedding from the pictures. I just love the fact that Dirty Dom even got booed at his own wedding. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's pretty.
He's got nuclear heat, buddy. So.
Yeah, they were like pictures were like showing like, oh, he even broke character and danced with his mom. Well, of course he did.
It's his wedding, for God's sakes.
Yeah, like,
but nonetheless,
he's not actually dating Rhea Ripley. It's okay, folks.
Rhea was there though at the wedding though, so mommy approved. So I'm just saying.
Mommy approved.
We here at PW60, we want to wish Dominic Mysterio and his bride congratulations on their wedding and hopefully many, many years to come from a beautiful marriage.
But
also, I was gonna say, but wait, there's more. They're not the only couple that got married this past week. It was also announced that Emma and Riddick Moss tied the knot. So we want to wish a huge congratulations to them as well. Man, it was just a week full of wrestling weddings, man. And the fact that none of them got interrupted or like nobody objected is pretty darn impressive because we know how wrestling weddings can typically go.
Yes, a lot of times the like cake is thrown around and
among other things.
Yeah.
Well, this past week it was dropped on Chris Van Fleet's show, an interview with John Cena that was very interesting. There was a lot of stuff they talked about and stuff that was revealed. But I think what's the most compelling was the fact that John Cena admitted that he was actually scheduled to turn heel after his WrestleMania 28 loss to The Rock. Matter of fact, he had a whole new music set up, as well as he had a whole new gear picked out. He was going to go back to wearing spandex. Obviously, it didn't happen, but it's just interesting to know because I think a lot of us wrestling fans, especially at time frame, was like, yeah, they just need to turn Cena heel finally and do it. But they didn't happen, and the rest they say is interesting, but it's just a little interesting tidbit to kind of know that was on the cards. And this was fascinating too. They actually mentioned Sting's retirement from this past week on Monday Night Raw. Michael Cole wishing congratulations towards Sting. They acknowledged Sting in AEW. I think it was a pretty classy, pretty cool move. Still, though, WWE, why the hell couldn't you give them footage? Just saying, but it's neither here nor there. But at least they did acknowledge the Stinger because that was a hell of a matchup over a week ago at AEW Revolution. It still hurts, bro.
It's
Oh,
honestly,
God.
it still stings. It still stings.
I see what you did there. Speaking of stinging, what the fuck? Okay, it was announced this week by Jake Paul's promotion, Most Valuable Promotions, that he will be entering the boxing ring against yet another retired legend and a WWE Hall of Famer, one Mike Tyson. What the fuck? Really? Why? I mean, I know why, because of money, but still, though, I pray to God Mike Tyson murders him, but I don't think that's going to happen. But what does it really do for either of these guys other than put money in their pocket, right? Like, okay, if Jake Paul ends up somehow defeating Mike Tyson, which let's call spade a spade, there's a good possibility that happens because he is a pretty decent boxer, and at the same time, Mike Tyson is up there in age. So what? He continues to box and defeat these guys who are like way past their prime. It doesn't mean a damn thing. And for Mike Tyson, it's like, does it tarnish his record? I don't know. I just feel like this whole thing is just
I mean,
dumb.
Mike Tyson's just there to get paid.
Yeah, just there to get paid. But it just completely came out of the blue this week. You talk about random. Speaking of random, let's go to Brian with Brian's random moment of the week.
And it's time for my random moment of the week. My name's Brian, House of Random. Put it all together, what you got, all kinds of good stuff, at least I hope. Hope it doesn't suck. Hi, back again for my segment on the, easy for me to say, PW60. And if you caught a couple weeks ago, I went with some random trivia, and I asked about who were the people who held the WCW and WWE versions of the United States Championship. And of course, there was 3, so if you got it correct, congratulations. I don't have a prize for you, but you have bragging rights. And those 3, of course, would be Booker T, Eddie Guerrero, and Chris Benoit. So I want to go with a similar question, looking at the WCW World Heavyweight Championship, the big gold belt, one of my favorite designs of a world title or any championship belt in all of professional wrestling history. And of course, we know that the WWE brought it back as part of the initial brand split in 2002 and awarded to Triple H as the World Heavyweight Championship. And so I want to look at which wrestlers, how many, and which ones, trivia question for this week on PW60, who and how many won the WCW World Heavyweight title and the big gold belt version of the World Heavyweight Championship in the WWE. I'll give you a little hint. You can count them on less than on one hand. You don't even need all your fingers. So there you go. So comment down below and see if you get the question correct this week and you get more bragging rights and all that good stuff. So there you go. Who are the people who held the WCW? Yeah, vroom vroom. WCW World Heavyweight title, the big gold belt, and also the big gold belt in WWE as the World Heavyweight Championship. Comment below and let it be known. Bye.
Froom, froom, indeed, my friend. Froom, froom. I know.
I bet you already know the answer.
I know, but do you know? Leave a comment and let us know what you think. Well, we love you, Brian, and we also love our wrestling content creators. And this week, our Ruby Ringside Wrestling Content Creator of the Week is somebody a lot of you probably already know. She is undeniably the biggest Jey Uso fan on the planet. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's his significant other. We were talking about Billy MF Jean. She does some amazing content. Of course, a lot of it's hilarious on the Usos, the Bloodline. She's a very talented young lady. And of course, this week she had to be our Ruby Ringside Wrestling Content Creator of the Week. One Billy MFG. Billy Jean, not my. Sorry. Oh, I am loving Drew McIntyre. My God, he is killing it right now. He's killing it. The latest TikTok video he put out, hilarious. He's in his car at a WWE show, and the fans are just going nuts, booing him. And he's like, "Oh, hold on a second." And what's he do? He plays CM Punk's music. Damn it, I love me some Drew McIntyre. What'd you think of this moment? What do you think of Drew in general? I mean, he's killing it right now.
Well, you're actually the one that showed me this, so
you were cracking the hell up when you.
It made me chuckle pretty hard, especially when Cult of Personality.
You're like, yes, it's some good shit, pal. And our last story this week. Bobby Booker T. What? That's right. Brock Lesnar has been added back to the active roster for the WWE. So, B-roll, does this mean what I think it could mean? Are we getting Brock Lesnar already back at WrestleMania?
Who knows? Who knows?
I mean,
one thing is for sure is that nothing's for sure. Who in the heck is that Boa guy?
I was like, who is that? I don't recognize that person, but anyways.
Because this is like active roster, right?
Yeah. I don't know who that is. I'm sorry, but leave us a comment if you know who that is. But nonetheless, Brock Lesnar.
He was on the 23rd episode of NXT Level Up. I can't believe you don't know who that is.
Well, Mr. B-Roll, we've come to another end of an amazing week here on Pro Wrestling 60, and I can't wait to see what we're getting this week in the world of professional wrestling as we continue on the road of WrestleMania. And hey, don't forget, later this week, brand new Season 3 premiere of I'm Your Huckleberry comes out tomorrow, as well as Learning the Ropes is back live, and we got a huge show lined up for you this year, so check that out as well. I'm XLJ the OG, along with Mr. B-Roll, and we'll see you next week on a new episode of PW60. And buy the merch! Buy the merch! Buy the merch!